go. All right.
For sure.
All right. So it's time for me to come 100% clean here now. Okay? Time for me to come 100% clean. Did David set the stage for what happened? Because I really don't want to repeat it.
Yes, sort of.
Yeah.
I only talked for a couple minutes, even if that.
I told him what happened, Dave.
Yeah,
I told him the story.
Okay, so listen, man. I just don't like to see people taken advantage of. And Omar kept saying, what do we do? What do I do? How do I get my hands out of my pockets? Like he was really taking it personally. Like we tried to tell him, like me and Hex told him multiple times, dude, it's done. Just fucking ride it out. Go win it. He couldn't get past it. Like when I tell you he couldn't get past it, he hold on a second.
Oh, you go, buddy.
Okay,
Dave's got to hit the inhaler for this one.
Yeah,
I was like,
so,
damn,
I'm sorry.
you
So
good,
I thought Omar was at his window.
no. Omar. So listen, man. For 2 hours, this guy was like upset about this thing. So Hex suggested, and I agreed with him. Just when the next time you see Fats in a space, just say, hey man, this bet isn't fair. You should really undo it and you should make it fair. And I said, yeah, that's what you should do. And if you do that, I'll get your back and help you.
Okay.
Because I know as soon as listen, I know Fats, man. I was in that space. I heard them talking double talk. I went in there and I said, everybody hold on to their wallets. Fats is about to fucking steal from you guys. And he goes down, he's like, oh, minus 120. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Christmas in October. Fuck, like he's on the edge with every fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
and listen, is Omar innocent in this thing? Absolutely not. But listen, it was really taking him personal. He wanted to figure out a way to not get out of it, but to make it fair. And then Hex said, okay, so then he says, well, what's a fair line? And I said, listen, I would think
Omar said this?
Yeah, Omar says, I said, listen, in my opinion, it's got to be at least 3-1. Like, at least 3-1.
Okay.
At least. And then David came up, and I said, David, what do you think a fair line is here? And, he kind of went back and forth and said, I think it's somewhere between 1.75 and 2.25, somewhere in that range. I said, okay.
I like it.
Huh?
I said specific.
So,
I like it.
yeah. So I'm like, okay. And then I said, listen, I just respectfully disagree. I think this is really hard. I think 3-1 is still but at least 3-1, right? At least. And then Wolf says, hey, I'll offer you 3-1. And I said, you know what? That's a good idea. Because then you can tell Fats, hey, I got 3-1 here. And hopefully he's more inclined to either give him a better bet or to let him out of the bet, which he ultimately did. So that's how the whole 3-1 thing.
He let him out of the bet?
He did. I got to give Fats credit. He let him out of the bet. And listen, I just didn't like hearing this kid, the way he was talking. Because I know this guy. I've had a couple heart-to-hearts with him. Snoop, you know what I'm talking about. He wants to fucking fight you. He wants to get a fucking picture with you and bait you into a fight. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to talk him off that ledge. I had a very long talk with him on Spaces. So I know how this kid is. And I can just see how this is setting up. And listen, this is, in my opinion, this is what happened. You had two different people who were talking past each other.
Well, of course, they're on two sides of a bet.
Well, it isn't that, when I say they're talking past each other, what I'm really saying is, they weren't talking on the same level.
Well, of course, because obviously Omar doesn't gamble much.
Right. And he was right. He was relying upon the good faith of Fats. Because he said at one point in the space, he goes, Dave, if I said to you this bet, what would you say? I said, dude, I would tell you, you can't take that fucking bet. I'm not going to take that action from you. It's not a fair fucking bet. Well, that's exactly. So I'm just look, man.
Fats is a professional gambler, right? I mean, he makes it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the scorpion and the fucking frog thing. You know what I'm saying? And Omar even said that.
Well, but
So look.
also Ryan Koss was saying that Omar was like talking shit about how he could pick a certain percentage, and then they made the bet. I mean,
there is no doubt that Omar's ego and big mouth got him into this problem.
Well,
He can deny that all he wants. He is not innocent in this thing.
well,
He is not.
if people wanted to call me a bad person, they could. I would never give him that bet back. If he wanted to make another bet at a better number, I might do it. Another bet, but that bet has to play. I don't know.
I tried very hard to keep that bet in play. I said, give him a number. Give him a number. And I think Fats was reluctant to give him a number because he knows there's no number that's right.
Yeah, but it's a man. If he's 18 or 21, I'm sure he's older than that, Omar. I mean,
He's 45.
okay, so
Dude,
listen,
I
he's
said-
a grown man. He made a bet. He
Dude,
made a bad bet.
he said, what's the, Fats said, what's the number? I said, 10 to 1. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm Fats, I fucking jump all over this. Like, okay, Dave says 10 to 1. Omar, you want it for 10 to 1?
10 to 1?
Like, 10 to 1. There's no fucking way
That's
he's going to come back and put 6 down and win that fucking
But he
bet.
made the bet at 1 to 1? Even money?
Yes.
1.5.
Yeah.
1.5 to
1.5.
1.5 to 1. That's what he made the bet at. That's what the bet is. I mean, if it's a bad bet, sorry. Boo-hoo. Go to sleep.
There were two bets. Again, I think it's important to say that. One bet was that he had to come back and beat the Hatton Coin, and he would have to come back from a 6-game deficit.
And that was
The
even
second
money.
bet- and that was even money. The second bet was that he had of the 70 remaining games that are left to be picked this season,
Exclusive of the Hatton Coin.
exclusive of the Hatton Coin. So this is just a separate bet of the 70 remaining games that are left to be selected. He would have to have at least 42, and 42 is a winner, by the way, Dave. 42 is not a push. 42 is a winner, and
Okay.
he would get plus 150 on that. Okay? Now, Wolf offers it at plus 300.
Well, hold on. If you're going to tell the story,
Yeah.
you got to tell the whole story.
Bang.
Okay, so the whole story was, okay, Fat says, what do you think's a good number for that? And Omar says, 2 to 1. And Fat goes, no, 2 to 1's too much. I'll give you 1.5 to 1.
I just wanted to know, Dave, and you're right. You are correct when you said that. You're not speaking a falsehood here. What I am saying is this: Omar agrees to book the bet at plus 150. We move on, right? Now, Omar's a grown man. He makes the bet. Why is it okay for Wolf to offer the bet at 3 to 1? But then when you try to repurpose the bet so that Fats has to keep this bet going, you tell him
Which
he has
bet?
to. Excuse me. You have the second bet, Dave,
Okay, the second bet.
where you
yeah.
tell him he has to offer 10 to 1. Wolf can offer 3 to 1, but in order to keep that bet alive, which you tried so hard to keep alive, Fats has to offer 10 to 1.
Bang, bang.
So I'll just say this. I'll just say this very quickly. The 10 to 1 was only for the Hatton Coin bet. Only. So he's already starting 6 games down. The Wolf bet, he's starting it even. That's been explained multiple times here. That's why the higher odds.
So you are
He's
the
starting-
arbiter of who gets to bet at what odds? Is
No,
that
I'm
correct?
not. Somebody asked me what a fair number is. In fact, I think 10 to 1's a gift. Fat should have jumped on it, just like he should have jumped on 2 to 1. Because Omar even said, because Richie asked him, so if Fats had said 2 to 1, you wouldn't be complaining. He says, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I won't